So with a little work, I've made it to the pond I'm gonna be fishing today. Now this is a series of 3 ponds. You got the big one behind the camera, and then behind the big one is a medium-sized one, and then in front of the big one where I am is this small pond here. This small pond here is basically directly connected to the river. So when the river floods, so does this place. Now this pond is pretty small. It's only about 10 acres. So I am kind of relying on the river flooding to bring new fish into this pond, but that is okay. I've caught a bass over 6 pounds here before. I've also come here and caught no bass at all, and I've only caught a handful of pickerel. All right, let's get to stepping. It is already 3:06, which gives me about 3 hours to fish, which honestly is plenty of time to fish this pond. I can probably get a full 360 around this pond in an hour and a half. That being said, I'm not going to, only because I'm gonna try to pick this pond apart pretty methodically, pretty slow. Try not to miss any spots because I saw a ton of activity here. I actually saw a fish chasing a school of bait. So even though it's chocolate milk, as you guys can plainly see as day, there are still plenty of fish in this dirty section of the pond. 4 rods with me today to try to figure them out. I am kind of traveling light. I got a jig, I got a chatterbait, I got my wacky worm, and then I have a topwater frog. Now, although it is getting towards the end of October, I still do think I'll be able to catch a few fish on a frog. You can catch bass on topwater well into the low 50s temperature wise. I just lost a good reel. Can't use my chatterbait today. This just literally fell off and then into the water. And unfortunately, the water is just slightly too deep where I am, so I can't use my net to try finding it either. So, but that is why companies make that faceplate so it falls off like that. That way they get you to buy a new reel. Kind of want to start out with the chatterbait. That's obviously not going to happen. We'll start with the wacky worm for right now. Right now I'm using a black and blue ion from Bait Fuel. Well, actually I think it's Bait Fuel infused net bait. Used my last one. Just kind of work our way around this portion of the pond, then work our way to the other section of this pond. And by then, it'll be time to go. Let's switch up from the wacky to a black and blue. I believe this is a Booyah Pad Crasher. good bass. But this is the palest bass I have ever caught in my life. But living in this really dirty water, you can see why. That's crazy how light that bass was. Because I also didn't use an O-ring. He got rid of my last Senko. That's fine. We got more, not black and blue, green pumpkin, but can't see why this won't work just fine. I love mac scent. I just think that stink is something that the bass like. Switch up. Alright, I don't think I want the jig on anymore, so what I think I'm gonna do is put on a spinnerbait. We're gonna be switching over to a 6th Sense Divine spinnerbait. I think this color is called like Bone Truce Pearl. Oh, it actually looks pretty sweet, not gonna lie. And I really like how realistic 6th Sense head shape is. These bass to bite. I'm seeing a ton of fish attacking other fish. All right, second bass for me today. First on the spinnerbait, but again, all the fish are going to be super pale, kind of have that emerald shine to it, just because they're going to be in the super dirty water. Kind of to be expected, but I'll take that. Honestly, I really thought I would have more bites than just 2 today, with how active this place looked when I first got here, but so I've made it to the back half of this pond, and it is still just as chocolate milk as the first half. Usually it's not like this. On the wacky worm. Third fish today. So 2 on the wacky, 1 on the spinnerbait. Oh my gosh. It's a crappie. I should keep him. Look at those loins. I should bring you home to eat. I'm hungry. but I guess I'll let him go back. Not gonna lie, that felt like a big crappie. Feels like a pick. Oh, it's a bass. I was gonna say it didn't jump, it's staying down there. Cool, might be the biggest one today. Cool, I will take that. Not a bad £1.5, maybe 1.8. Not a bad one right there. Cool. And a little dance to go. Might have been small. Yeah, so it definitely could have been small fish. But little guy here. Let's try the spinnerbait for a little bit, I guess. Ooh, gave this guy an eyebrow piercing, but he's good to go. Maybe about a 12-incher right here. So that bass broke my spinnerbait? Yeah. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I mean, I always can stick another blade on it. I don't have an extra blade with me. I don't know if the spinnerbait came this way or that bass just broke it, but if you can tell, that blade, that top blade's missing. So yeah, we're about done with that. I guess we'll just go back to the wacky worm. Whoa, you guys see that? That was cool. That was the third time casting at that. First time at that particular angle, but thought it was just gonna be a little bit bigger than this little guy here. But he just must have been wrapped up when I caught him. Yep, another 12-incher right there on the wacky worm. So I wasn't planning on doing this when I got here, but I think I'm going to do this now. I think I'm gonna kind of make my way through these woods here. Let's bring this and this Alright. Can make it through these woods to the creek. Now I don't mind going through here in the springtime because there's not many ticks, but in the fall there could be ticks. So if I start getting ticks on me, then I'm out of here. Oh, this water is dirty too, and it's super low. But no ticks. Oh. There's something there, and he's willing to bite. I was not paying attention. No. That's annoying because there is definitely a fish on there. Yeah. Oh no. My already dirty Nikes. Let's get out of here. Retying is one of my least favorite things to do in the world, but we don't have a choice right now. So, kind of disappointed in that 6 cents spinnerbait. I guess that kind of means I'm still in the market for a good and relatively cheap spinnerbait. I did like War Eagles, but then I had back-to-back days where I had a War Eagle spinnerbait snap on me. So then I figured I would try 6 cents spinnerbaits, and as you guys just saw, I just caught like a 1/4 pound bass and the blade fell off somehow. So I'm going to be switching over to a 3/8 ounce black and blue chatterbait. This is from Z-Man. It's their Project Z weedless, and hence the weed guard right there. And black and blue is certainly not a bad choice for the super dingy water, but I'm just gonna take a couple casts right here, and then I'm gonna work my way back to the ramp, and then basically that's gonna be it. Oh, it's a fish. Okay. I will definitely take that. I didn't realize it was a fish. Not a big one by any means, just another 12-incher, but hey, I will definitely take that. Running out of time, and he hit it on the fall. Another one. Oh, had another one right there. Dang. It's crunch time. I can't be missing fish like that. Got him that time. No, I didn't. Maybe black and blue is what should have been throwing the whole time. Got him. Oh my gosh. He finally bit off the tail. So we'll put another big spanky back on. Nice, good bass. Ew. Yeah, something coming out of him. I don't know what that is. Weird, and it's creeping me out, so we'll get him back. That feels bigger. That feels bigger. What do we got here? Okay. That's not a bad 2-pounder right here. Ow. Cool. There we go. Probably the biggest fish today. It's probably right at 2 pounds. That is sweet. Hopefully I can catch a few more. I mean, with how dingy the water is, I mean, I should have maybe... Oh, that looked like a big one over there too. Oh, no way. That felt really heavy. Come on. What is happening? Are they just a bunch of small fish? Like, oh no. Alright, so that is it for this evening, and overall I had a pretty good day. Caught quite a few fish today and no pickerel today, which is pretty cool. Typically when I come here, sometimes that's all I catch is like a couple pickerel, but pretty happy to get on some bass. Unfortunately, I just kind of figured them out a little bit too late. I guess I should have known to use something a little bit darker than bone shrews, just because it was basically instant. As soon as I started using the black and blue chatterbait, I started getting bit. So that kind of makes me wonder, if I use the black and blue chatterbait all day today, I really do think that I would have caught more and bigger fish. Not a terrible day for being out on the water 3 hours. But the chatterbait I was using was a 3/8 ounce chatterbait from Z-Man. It's called a Project Z weedless, and all that really means is that it comes with a weed guard. I actually really kind of like that feature because I can really toss this into a snag like I could a jig and kind of pop it in there. And unlike a jig, this chatterbait obviously will vibrate as I kind of pop it in the snag. So maybe that'll trigger a bite, who knows. But I'm definitely curious how many bites I got and I just didn't land. Like, I feel like there must have been like 10 bites that I got, set the hook, felt the weight of the fish, and they popped off a second later. They gotta go back into the footage and figure that out. Anyways, I got to pack everything up before it gets too dark. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Peace.